Hello everyone, my name is Ronik Fru. Like I said before, in this second phase, we're going to be doing labs. Now I'm going to be taking you through the very first lab, which is configuring a VPN. VPN configuration is very important, and for purposes of your exams, you need to understand the various steps that are involved because you might be tested on this. Please do not disregard this. Let's hang tight and wait for the lab to load. There we go. For purposes of the labs, you allocated an hour, like in Marine. You can extend depending on your know-how. But if you know exactly what you're required to do, you can get this set up and done within less than 10 minutes. In this lab, you're expected to create a VPN server instance in pfSense using the OpenVPN Remote Access Server Setup Wizard and be able to verify the configurations. So you have 3 requirements that you need to meet up after completing this lab. If you haven't done this lab before, please, I advise you to watch the video. Step 1. We require a login to the Windows server using the username and password. For this lab, we don't need to because we're already into it. Once you load the lab, it automatically logs into the Windows server. Step 2. We are required to launch the Windows Microsoft Edge. Launch Microsoft Edge. You expect to log in the IP address that will lead you into the pfSense web interface. There we go. Let's type in http://192.168.1.1. For information, this is not secure because it doesn't have an S. So once you log into, you might get some warning signs. So let's hit the enter key. That's why it says, hey, your connection isn't private, which means public, right? It's not secure. Disregard that by clicking advanced to move forward and click continue to the pfSense web interface. Okay. We're actually at the pfSense interface. To access, we need to log in. A username which is admin. That will be step 4. Expect to log in a password which is VPN at DMIN exclamation sign. And we click sign in. It's going to take about 2 to 3 minutes to load. Let's hang tight. Okay, we're currently into the pfSense. Step 5 requires us to navigate to VPN. There we go, VPN. Open VPN. Click on Open VPN. And then we get to the wizards to start the VPN wizard. Let's click on wizards. Step 6 is requiring us to navigate to select the authentication backend type. And it's expecting us to do the local user access. So that's the server type that we're going to go with. So we have the radius LDAP, but we're required to do the local user access. We're going to select on that. And then we're going to do the next. There we go. So step 7 says complete the create a new certificate authority certificate form. Then select add new certificate authority. Let's just raise it up to kind of see exactly what it's asking us to do. So that's a descriptive name. So you want to be very careful every time you setting up a VPN. Most likely they will tell you what kind of a name to use, right? If it's a company, they say, hey, I want you to create this new certificate authority and call it this name, So in this case, we're gonna, for labs purposes, we're gonna do certificate authority certificate. That's gonna be the descriptive name. And the country code is going to be US. The state or province is going to be Texas, the city is going to be Plano, and the organization is going to be Osaka. Okay, let's do that. Remember, country code say US, state says Texas, city says Plano, the organization says Osaka. Just keep that in mind. Just for purposes of your labs. Just double check and make sure everything is good. There we go. We're going to do add new certificate authority. There we go. So the next step, after we've created a certificate authority, is asking us to create a new saver certificate form. Then select create new certificate. So do not confuse creating a new certificate authority versus creating a new saver certificate. So after you've created a new certificate authority, the next thing you want to do is to create a new saver certificate. So that will be the next stage. So okay, let's look whatever name they're asking us. So we'll just call it, for lab purposes, we'll call it saver certificate. And the country code and state and city and organization, it's just all the same, you know. So we're going to just call it saver certificate for purposes of this lab. Saver certificate. It just stays the same, right? So let's do create new certificate. There we go. Okay. What does step 9 tells us? It says under cryptographic settings, configure server to use TLS authentication. For those that do not really understand what TLS authentication simply means, TLS just simply means transportation layer security. So what does it do? Right, it does encrypts and authenticates data between web browsers and servers. So in a nutshell, it's just an added layer of security and says, hey, this transaction is going to be secured. So that's exactly what we need to do. As you can see, the TLS says under cryptographic settings, this is cryptographic settings, configure server to use TLS. So it's already enabled. So TLS authentication is already enabled. So this is good. You just scroll down, and then next it says under tunnel settings, enter that. So these are tunnel settings. Enter the 192.168 and 1. For the tunnel network, then select next. So we're going to be doing this, right? Exactly, we're going to go to tunnel settings, tunnel network, and we're going to enter 192.168.10. That's 20. That's the IP range. Once we're done with this IP range, we have to go right down and just click next. So our second requirement is to set up the firewall rule configurations. Step 1 says under firewall rule configurations, enable the firewall rule and open VPN rule. Then select next. So what I'm going to do, firewall rule configurations, which is very simple here, right? To enable, you just check on that, and you check on that. So let's enable the firewall rule configurations, and let's also enable Open VPN. That's it. You check them up, and then you click next. It says select finish to complete the wizard. There you go. So we've actually completed this step and this step. So now let's verify the VPN. To verify, right, is pretty easy, right? We did that, we did this one. Alright, so finish. So let's verify the VPN. So now it says select firewall rules to verify the setup of the pfSense firewall rules. There we are, right? So we go back, we click on firewall, click on rules, and then we verify, right? It's good. That's the one. Says you select firewall, select rules, and then you select rules and you select one. So this is the one, wide area network. And that's it. It's good. It's good to go. I'll show you. That's exactly what they're talking about. Close that out. Step 3 says, hey, select firewall rules, and then you select OpenVPN to review the OpenVPN firewall rule. Firewall rules OpenVPN, which is still the same stuff. So, but I just had to take you back so you can kind of keep that in mind. Everything that's gonna have to do in the firewall is gonna be on the firewall. Click on OpenVPN. That's it. It's good. When you see this, the green tick, everything is good. I'm going to show you here for that's it. It's open. Step 4. Click the Diagnostics tab, then select Backup and Restore. Click Download Configuration. Okay, once you set up that, right, they're asking you to kind of like, hey, export that and kind of keep a backup file, you know, in case something happens, right? You're able to just do a backup without having to go through that process. How do you get to do that? Diagnostics. Please do not forget this process, because you might be required to do this in your exam. Let's say, hey, after you've set up a firewall rule, can you back it up and save it on your desktop, you know, from as an incident response plan. You go to Diagnostics, you go to Backup and Restore, you click on it, and then you click Download. You download. Once you've already clicked on download, right, expect that it's down here. You see it's downloading. The file is already available in your download. It says once you download, it's finished, close the edge. So we're going to go ahead and close this, right, and then it says Open File Explorer. File Explorer, and click on Downloads. There you are. You can either, it says right click. Once you right click, click the configured file, right, and rename to backup. So we're going to rename this file to backup. We'll just call it backup. Backup. That's it. If you want to take a look at how it looks like, just double click it. I just use the watch to open it so you kind of see how it looks like. All the things that you did, that was the setup. That's how it looks like. By the end of this lab, please, like I said, do not forget those basic process. Don't forget how to be able to access pfSense, be able to follow the VPN open wizards. Do not forget that, please. This process and how to give a name to the new certificate authority. and how to create a new server certificate, and how to set firewall rules, and how to verify it and do backup. Please. Thank you.